Hi, it's Stefania, and we've got the next adventure, Uncle Wiggily. Uncle Wiggily's next adventure. This time, it's called Uncle Wiggily and the Cherry Tree. Uncle Wiggily Longears and the Crying Elephant. Do you remember the crying elephant from the last story? He cried so much he made giant puddles everywhere. Anyhow, he and Uncle Wiggily became friends, and this is their adventure. Uncle Wiggily Longears and the Crying Elephant were walking along together one day, talking about the weather and wondering if it would rain, and all things like that. Only the elephant wasn't crying any more, for the rabbit had pulled the tack that was hurting him out of the big beast's foot. You remember? "We'll travel on together to find our fortune and look for adventures," said the elephant, as he capered about and stood on his hind legs because he felt so jolly. "Won't we have fun, Uncle Wiggily?" "Well, we may," spoke the old gentleman rabbit, "but I don't see how we are going to carry along on our travels enough for us to eat. Of course, I don't need much, but you are such a big chap that you will have to have quite a lot, and my case is quite small." "Don't worry about that," replied the elephant. "Of course, you might think that I could carry a lot of pie and cake and bread and butter in my trunk, but really, I can't, for all that my trunk will hold is water. However, I think I can pick up what hay and grass I need from along the road." "Yes, and perhaps we may meet a man with a hot peanut wagon once in a while," suggested Uncle Wiggily, "and he may give you some peanuts." "Oh, I hope he does. Oh, joy!" cried the big fellow. "I just love hot peanuts." Well, they went on for some time when all of a sudden a man jumped out from behind the bushes and exclaimed, "Oh, Mr. Elephant, I've been looking for you. Now you come right back with me to the circus where you belong." And he went up to the elephant and took hold of his trunk. "Oh, I don't want to go," whined the tremendous creature. "I want to stay with Uncle Wiggily and have fun." "But you can't," said the man. "You are needed in the circus. A lot of boys and girls are waiting in the tent to give you peanuts and popcorn." "Oh, well then, I suppose I'd better go back," sighed the elephant with the long trunks and tusk. "I'll see you again, Uncle Wiggily." So the elephant said good-bye to the rabbit and went back to the circus with the man, while the rabbit gentleman hopped on by himself. He hadn't gone very far before he heard a sound, honk, honk, in the bushes. "Oh, there is another one of those terrible automobiles," thought the rabbit. But it wasn't at all. It was Grandfather Goosey Gander, and there he sat on a flat stone, honking through his yellow bill as hard as he could, and at the same time crying salty tears that ran down his nose, making it all wet. "Why, whatever is the matter?" asked Uncle Wiggily as he went up to his friend, the duck drake gentleman. "Have you stepped on a tack too?" "No, it isn't that," was the answer, "but I am so sick that I don't know what to do, and I'm far from my home and from my friends, the Wibble Wobble family. Oh, oh dear, it's just awful." "Let me look at your tongue," said the rabbit. And when Grandfather Goosey Gander struck it out, Uncle Wiggily said, "Why, you have the epizootic very bad indeed. But perhaps I can cure you. Let me see. I think you need some bread and butter and a cup of catnip tea. I'll make you some." So Uncle Wiggily made a little fire of sticks, and then he found an empty tin tomato can, and he boiled some water in it over the fire and made the catnip tea. Then he gave some to Grandfather Goosey Gander, together with some bread and butter. "Well, my feel a little better," said the old gentleman duck drake when he had eaten, "but I am not well yet. It seems to me that if I could have some cherry pie, I would feel better." Perhaps you would," agreed Uncle Wiggily, "but though I know how to make a nice cherry pie, and though I made some for the hedgehog, I don't see any cherry trees around here, so I can't make you one. There are no cherry trees." "Yes, there is one over there," said the duck drake, and he waved one foot toward it, while he quacked real faint and sorrowful like. "Oh, oh, oh." Sure enough, that is a cherry tree," said Uncle Wiggily, as he hopped over and looked at it. "And the cherries are ripe now. Now, if I can only get some of them down, I can make a cherry pie and cure Grandfather Goosey Gander." But it wasn't easy to get the cherries off the tree, and Uncle Wiggily couldn't climb up after them, so he sat down and looked up at them, hoping some would fall off the stems. But none did. "Oh dear, how am I going to get them?" sighed the rabbit. "Perhaps I can knock some off with a stone." So he threw up a stone, but no cherries came down. "I'll throw up my crutch." So he threw that up into the tree, but it brought no cherries down. And the crutch, in falling, nearly hit Grandfather Goosey Gander and almost gave him the measles and mumps. "Well, I'll try and see what throwing up my case will do," said the rabbit, and he tossed up the satchel, and bless you, that stayed up in the tree and didn't come down at all. Neither did any cherries. "Oh, I'll have to give up," said Uncle Wiggily. "I'm afraid you can't have any cherry pie, Grandfather Goosey." "Oh, then I'll never get well," said the old duck drake gentleman sorrowfully. "Yes, you will too," suddenly cried out a voice, and out from the bushes. What came out from the bushes? The elephant. Out from the bushes ran the elephant. "I'll pick the cherries off the tree with my long nosy trunk," he said, "and you can make all the pie you want to, Uncle Wiggily." "Why, I thought you went back to the circus," said the rabbit. "No, I ran away from the man," spoke the elephant. Then he reached up with his long nose, and he picked a bushel of red, ripe, sweet, delicious cherries in less than a minute. Then he pulled down Uncle Wiggily's case out of the tree, and then the old gentleman rabbit made 3 cherry pies. One for Grandfather Goosey Gander, and another, a tremendous big one, as large as a bathtub, for the elephant, and a little one for himself. Then they ate all their pies, and the old gentleman duck drake got well almost at once. So all 3 of them traveled on together to help the rabbit seek his fortune. And that's truly the story of how it goes. Next time, I will tell you about Uncle Wiggily and Grandfather Goosey Gander. They carry on, and they have some more adventures that you must know about, because they're good ones. So if you want to find out about these future adventures, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button. Then YouTube will let you know when the story is ready for you. And then I will see you. I'll be waiting for you. In the meantime, if you like riddles, if you like songs, you'll find some on the channel, so have a look. Have fun, stay well, and be good.